In the late 1800s, Lobethal was a big hops growing region and it had its own brewery. It closed in 1869, but in some sort of great historical comeback, the Lobethal Bierhaus has opened practically on the same site. The old woolen mill has been converted into a microbrewery and the fit-out is spectacular. This is the story of two mates realising a dream. Alastair Turnbull and Phil Jones were both living overseas, one in New York, one in London, but they always remained in touch and vowed to return home one day to create something special. For Alastair, it seems to have been almost inevitable.
My grandfather actually owned a hotel in England a number of years ago, and my grandmother enjoyed quite a tipple. So as a result, my father always was very keen to not have me get involved in the same business. So when I was a teenager and going to university, the first thing I did to aggravate him was get a job in a pub. So that's how I got through my studies early in the piece, and I've always had a passion since. So this is my dream.
The pair headed to the American Brewers Guild to learn their craft and source the equipment, which is all Canadian made. So this is a significant investment. As Phil explains, it means they need to get the product right, and they have.
We've done 3 beer styles to start with. First is an American style pale ale, so that's quite hoppy and bitter. Then we've moved into a wheat beer, a Hefeweizen, which is a German style wheat beer. And the last one is an Old English ale, a red truck porter, named after our old red truck, which is a 1941 Chevy we've got for deliveries and a bit of advertising.
For the real connoisseurs, the pale ale has high bitterness, flavour and aroma. The Hefeweizen or wheat beer has a strong fruity flavour, and the red truck porter is a red-brown roasted malt flavour.
Well, the brewery itself we got from Newlands in Vancouver, who we went to visit. It's a 1,200 litre system, so that's the size of each brew, and we keg from that and shortly to bottle. And that's how we're going to market the product.
This can be described as an all-grain microbrewery because the process begins with milling of the malted grains, largely barley and wheat, hops and yeast, and they use local Adelaide Hills water.
Well, we've got the normal stubbies, 330ml bottles, which we'll do, but also we have a special 2-litre bottle, Bierhaus Growler we'll have, which...
The Bierhaus Growler.
The Bierhaus Growler.
Right.
Modelled on what a lot of little breweries do over in the States, give out a large bottle and bottle it that way, and then use it to return and exchange for another bottle for people that live and want to do that. I think a lot of them will probably stay put once they're sold as a novelty item, but that's the idea.
And I think you'd agree, very impressive, the Growler. This holds 6 stubbies, would you believe? So this is like your take-home 6-pack, and you can get all 3 beer varieties in the Growler. The boys stress this isn't a pub, it's more of a family experience. Can you picture yourself sitting by this fire, sampling some unique brews while tucking into some gourmet fare? They delight in matching the food with the beers. For instance, chefs Tony and Oscar paired Asian spiced chicken with the Hefeweizen, Indian spiced wedges and raita with the pale ale, and chocolate mud cake with the red truck porter. They describe the menu as locally produced casual food, but that is understating it. There's so much to like about the Lobethal Bierhaus. The beer and food alone are worth the drive, but the blend of old and new is captivating as well. The sense of history hasn't been lost in the modernisation of the old woolen mill. There's plenty of memorabilia to peruse. The touch I like particularly is the fact the bar and staircase have been made from the old floorboards that were ripped up from the original mill, as were the bricks around the fireplace. This can be a great day out in the Adelaide Hills.
Well, we're right next door to the Heart of Hills Market, which has a number of little craft stores. There's a gallery, there's a costume museum, there are a number of wineries. There's a wine cellar that actually sells wine for all the smaller wineries in the area. So you can buy produce. It gives a chance for a family to come here, and there's something for everybody. Lobethal has a huge number of plans for building the town, redoing the landscapes along the side of the streets, taking down power lines, etc. So this is all the beginning of it. And we're working together with the wineries. They provide our wine. We get the local produce we use in our kitchens, comes from the vegetable people in the market. So it's a whole big package for people to come and enjoy a weekend.
The Lobethal Bierhaus is open Fridays and Saturdays from noon till 10 p.m, Sundays and public holidays from noon till 6 p.m. They'll open by appointment during the week because that's when they're brewing. So they're happy to do tours or take group bookings, and they'll also do private functions. This is just the start for Alistair and Phil. They've begun with their 3 very popular brews, but soon hope to expand to 12 beers on tap. And we can't wait.